Guys, Jimmy Osborne, mobile mechanic here. I've made a review on these trucks before, but I had some subscribers tell me to make some more reviews, and the last review I wasn't able to go as in depth on this truck as I would have liked to. So this is going to be my review of the 2015 F150 EcoBoost FX4. So I'm going to go through this pretty fast so you don't have to watch a long video, tell you what I love about it, tell you what I don't like about it, and we'll go from there. So to start with, I love the grille on this. There's different options, but it kind of makes it look like a Super Duty, gives it a good tough appearance in the front. And the fog lights are really, really bright. The lights are bright. You're going to get people probably flipping you off and bright lighting you, thinking that your brights are on, but you'll just have your low beams on. So when they do that to me, I just cut my bright lights on, and then they don't even know what to think. So, but anyways, I don't like how low to the ground the front is. Your little deflector here, this little plastic piece, tends to scrub things. But it is really, really flexible, and it will just spring right back, so you don't have to really worry about tearing it off that much. Don't like the wheel color on these trucks because they show dirt really bad. I found some good wheel cleaner, clean these wheels, but they're already starting to show dust again, and a lot of that has to do with your brake pads. But we'll move on to the aluminum body, which is a big subject matter. These bodies, people will say like aluminum's weak and junk and all this stuff, and of course Chevrolet's trying to make them look bad by dropping a 5-foot high toolbox into the back of the truck, which no one ever does that on the corner. So just trying to make Ford look bad because they sell so many trucks, I guess. But the body flexes, has a little flex to it, steel doesn't. So if you notice, a lot of aircraft are made out of aluminum. If you know that, good. If you don't, now you do. And that's because steel doesn't flex like that. About 2 months after I had this truck, I backed it into my 96 F150. Didn't really do anything to it. So, done pretty good. So that was good. Never really had any problems with the bed. I haven't had this mat in here long. It doesn't fit exactly. It came out of an older truck. But I've had tools slide around. Never had any dents. Love how light the aluminum makes the truck, like the tailgate. I can just shut it with one finger. I can lift it. That's handy if you've got something in your hands. I do wish this truck had the bed lights. I don't have that option, but there might be a kit for that later on. I don't know. You do get cleats to go into these little anchor points that you can lock and unlock so you can secure your load. And what else can I do about the exterior? Got that tire in the mud a little bit. This is a little dirty. Okay, so one problem I did have was I was noticing that water was coming in the, well, I don't want to say coming in the cab, but it was getting moisture from something because there was like a water ring. So I was wondering what was going on. I took it to Ford. They put some water on the truck, like done some tests trying to figure out what was going on, and finally they did come to figure out later on, after like my second visit, that this cargo light, the seal on it, was going bad. So if you have that problem in these trucks, that's probably what your problem is. So let's move on to the inside of the truck. You got a lot of storage space. You got all these little pockets here to store things. You've got a pocket under the armrest. You can lift up the middle seat, and there's a huge storage bin in there. Not sure how big it is, but it's huge. And then you've got, the truck is dirty, excuse that, but that's because I do use it. You can flip the cup holder around in case you've got somebody riding in the middle seat. You can just stand the seat up, and then you've got 3 seats in the front, so that's cool. I like this isn't a luxury truck because it's an FX4, so it's geared more toward off-roading. The lock-in differential is great. It's a good thing to have because if you've got one wheel in the mud, one wheel not, you can actually just pull out this and lock the differential. It's as simple as just clicking it in. Well, you pull it out, but it will lock in instantly, lock both rear wheels together. So if you got one wheel that has traction and the other one doesn't, you can just go right on and never even have to put it in 4-wheel drive. It takes a lot less time to lock the differential than to go in and out of 4-wheel drive. So I'll start the truck up, let you hear it. It's really quiet. I like that. The older I get, the quieter I like my vehicles to be. So start it up, see the display coming on, pretty good quiet sound. It does have a bit of a growl to it whenever you are accelerating pretty hard, which I love. Gives it a mean sound. It really does have a mean sound when you're accelerating hard, especially mode. You've got tow haul and sport. Sport will actually change the timing of the engine. Basically what that equates to is it gives it more power at certain speeds, so it will stay in a high gear. It's actually better to be in sport mode if you're crossing like a mountain or something. That way the transmission is just not up shifting, down shifting, up shifting, down shifting. So it'll hold a high gear, and it'll brake for you when you hit the brakes. It'll downshift and try to hold the truck back. You have the hill descent control in this model. because it's an fx4, so if you're going down a hill, you can hold the brake. If you're going less than 20 miles per hour, 20 or 15, I can't remember, but you hit the button, it'll keep you at that speed, and it'll keep you from actually speeding up or slowing down. You won't have to ride the brake if you're coming down like a really long driveway or something like that. I've even used it in the snow, and I didn't have a problem with it. It didn't lock up or anything. So then you've got your traction control. You can hit it and turn it off, or you can hold it in and cut the advanced track off. I don't recommend doing that because these trucks will spin super easy. They have a lot of power, and they're light, and they will swap sides, and that kind of affects the handling because the wheels seem to chirp, and squeal when I'm going around curves if I take a curve kind of fast. I don't know if that means it's getting ready to spin or if it's just making sounds, because the tire's sliding. I don't know, but I probably wouldn't take turns super fast in these. I know that it's not a car, it's not a sports car, so you can't expect them to corner really well, but I've had a lot of other trucks and they didn't seem to have as much problem in curves as this one does. But besides that, the aluminum actually makes it handle good, like as far as like drivability. So you can, it's a smooth ride, I should say. I guess that's a good way to paraphrase that. But you've got an outlet here. You can plug in your phone charger. You also have a outlet down here at the bottom. You can plug in your phone charger, and you can also plug it in back in the back. You've got a lot of storage space in the back. I'll show you that in a minute. And let's see. I don't like the sync system because the sync system sometimes malfunctions, and that causes you have to unplug or pull the fuse out to actually reset the sync system. And that only happens when you have many devices programmed in. So like if you look here, well, let's see. So if I go to device, you can see I've got multiple ones programmed in. But if you have like a lot of devices programmed, it can cause the sync to like not really freeze up, but it'll say can't connect to Bluetooth, and you can't connect to it while you're driving, so you have to actually stop, and you can pull the fuse or you can take the battery cable off, and that may not ever happen to you, but it has happened to me. So, but anyways, got the WeatherTech floor mats in here. Strong recommendation of that, and I've got a seat cover that I use. And the reason I use the seat cover is because this truck does sit high off the ground, and it causes you to have to kind of jump up in or slide out, and I don't want to tear my seat. So I've got that. The display modes, you have all kinds of different options. Your fuel economy, last 30 minutes, you got a compass. You have I guess it's going to tell you how many gallons of fuel I've used. Wow, 2,035 gallons. That makes me cry. But anyways, you can go down to towing. You can go to off-road options, and I like this because it tells the off-road, it'll tell you what the incline and body roll and which way your wheels are turned, which is handy. Like if you say, well, why would you need that? Well, if you're four-wheeling and somebody's like, straighten up your wheels, you don't know how many rotations you made, so like let's say I turn the wheel all the way out, I know, like straighten up the wheels. I don't have to look outside to see if my wheels are straight. I can just turn it back to 0. So that's kind of cool. And then also it'll tell you your power distribution. So it'll actually tell you which wheels are getting power. It's like if I was to give it some fuel. Well, I was holding the brake, so we'll actually back up and go forward so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. But if you watch, I'll eliminate which wheels have power. I actually spun the wheels a little bit, but these trucks spin really easy, so you got to be careful in them in wet roads. But anyways, the off-road settings are really good, and you have all kinds of advanced settings. Like you can change the My Key if you have a younger driver driving this vehicle, and limit the speed, make it to where they can't listen to the radio if the seatbelt's buckled. Basically, just a bunch of annoyance stuff that will cause them to be more safe. But that's that, and that's the interior. I would highly recommend that if you get a four-wheel drive truck, make sure it has this locking differential. Because if you've got one wheel off in the mud and one wheel like on pavement, it takes a lot less time to pull this out and lock it than it does a good four-wheel drive. So it's quick and easy. You can just pop it out, push it back in. You don't have to worry about listening for the differential to unlock. So, but anyways, you got all kinds of controls, kind of like an airplane here. You've got this is really neat with your I'll show you really quick. Say you've got your air on and you want it to go to max, right? So I can actually click this and it'll go to max. And all I did was just click it and then it goes back down. So that's kind of cool. You don't have to worry about cranking this all the way up or waiting on it. It's pretty much instant as soon as you do that. And it's got a lot of air volume coming out. It's a really good air conditioner, really good heater. Ford's always had good luck with that. They've always had good heat and good air in most of their vehicles. I do not like the instrument panel. Like if you turn on the little reading lights here, if you say you turn this on, you're looking around your truck, make sure you turn that off before you get out, because if not, you'll be waiting for your lights to go off and they'll stay on. Then you'll come out here and try to cut them off, and you actually have to get in and shut the doors and let the light go off and then hit the button. So, because with it open like this, you can't even tell, you know what I mean? So, prime example, see how that's still on? If it was on and I had the door open, you wouldn't be able to know if you had this button pressed or not. So that's kind of annoying. But other than that, it's been a great truck. I've had it 2 years, as I said. It's really dirty in here. I do use the truck for working and stuff, so I've actually towed trailers with it, and it's got plenty of power. As I said, they're one of the fastest vehicles on the road, the F-150s. Not that you really care, because you're probably not drag racing your truck, but 0 to 60 time on these is like 5.7 seconds. Doesn't seem feasible to me because they spin really easy, but I guess under perfect conditions it could do it. That's really fast. But looking at the back, you got plenty of room. This is the extended cab. I've got the seat scooted all the way back. If I scoot it forward a little bit, you can see, I mean, you've got plenty of room for all your trash that you leave in your truck. No, I'm just kidding. Don't let your truck look like this. I'm kind of embarrassed, but I had to make this video when I could. You can fold up the seats, and you can store, you know, used water bottles or, you know, trash, whatever you want to store under there, I guess. But anyways, I usually keep some tools and like a towing strap and stuff, just in case somebody was to be stuck. That way I would have it. You've got more pockets on the door. You can roll down the windows from the back. You can adjust the seat belt back here. So it's kind of neat. But I really like the truck. And also, one thing that's neat, you can lean the headrest down. So if you can't see, you can just flop the headrest down if you can't see when you're driving through the rearview mirror, and that actually increases your field of view. So that's kind of cool that Ford added that feature. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much about it for the inside of this truck. Doesn't have all the bells and whistles. Some of them actually have like a power inverter and all that stuff. I do have a seat cover on this one, which I would recommend getting a seat cover, because I'm not a big fan of running boards. So you have to kind of jump up in here and slide out, and it tears the seat. My older truck has a torn seat from just sliding in and out over the years, so I'm trying to keep it in pretty good shape. It is dirty inside, but that'll be taken care of later today. But pretty much that's about it, guys. So like the video and subscribe. Let me know what I can improve on. I know that I need to stop mumbling so much, but I'm from East Tennessee, so kind of a redneck anyways. So like the video, subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and have a great day.